Hello there. I hope that you are doing well. This is Katie Hunt coming to you, wanting to talk to you about the cocoon phase. So, I think we've all heard the beautiful story of the caterpillar going into its silky coffin, completely dissolving into nothing, and emerging a beautiful butterfly. We tend to overlook that middle process that is horrific, and we just jump right to the beautiful butterfly part. And I think that we all do that in life too. We don't really like messy things, and we don't really like things that aren't pretty. And we tend to kind of fast forward through the details of these huge transformations that we go through and what that actually does look like. So I wanted to just highlight that because I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we think that beauty is supposed to be perfect. Or when we look at our transformation, that we can get hard on ourselves and think that we're doing something wrong if things are a bit messy or disorganized or we don't know what to do. Because that's not really sexy, and that's not really what we're even shown when people change. When people go through big transformations, we don't really see the hardships. We just see the outside part. But what I think is really important to remember is that this total destruction of self that the caterpillar goes through, we go through that as well. It has been said that in order to embrace your new life, you have to let go of the old one. The cost of your new life is your old one. So there's a death in that. There is a letting go, and that can be really tough because you're letting go of things that you know, you're letting go of parts of you that you know in order for you to step into this person that feels more like you, that resonates more than the person that you used to be. And we have a lot of resistance to it because we think that that's a bad thing, that if this feels hard or challenging for me to start these new habits or for me to change this behavior, that we just kind of give up because we think it's just not meant to be. I came to the realization a couple months ago that I was in a cocoon. And for the first time in my life, this type of transformation felt like a total destruction. I felt, even leading up to it, that death was coming, and I wasn't sure what that looked like. I thought it was like a literal physical death. I thought that I was going to die, which sounds really morbid, but I wasn't really afraid. But what it was a spiritual death. And parts of me, huge parts of me, have been crossing over so that I can reclaim parts of myself that are more important now, that need to be with me for this next chapter. And when you think about it, we've gone through plenty of transformations in our lives. The 5-year-old version of you, the 15-year-old version of you, the 6-year-old version of you, those are all parts of you, but they're not all of you. You've grown, you've matured, and you've changed a lot since then. And that doesn't just stop once we reach 18. I would argue that I have grown emotionally and spiritually more in my 20s than I have my entire life. It's been a hugely transformative time. So for me, realizing that I was going through this total destruction actually brought me peace, because I was actually able to surrender. And when I noticed that things that used to work weren't working the same way, and things that I really depended on weren't really working the same, but then challenges that I had experienced in the past seemed easier. It's like I was able to level up. So why I wanted to share this story is I've written more about it, and I will link that below. But what I really wanted to highlight is that we are going through this destruction right now on the planet. It started the end of 2019, and it will continue because things are changing in a really big way. And we've seen this coming for a while. I say we, spiritual people who channel anything, we're getting these types of messages. I personally wasn't sure exactly how this is going to look. I knew that COVID-19 wasn't the end. I knew that it was just the tipping point. It was just the very beginning. And I think with these protests that are happening right now, it is asking for destruction of these systems that are in place that aren't working for everybody. And we're being asked to all look in the mirror in a really big way. So if things are uncomfortable right now, and if things seem unbearable, that's okay. They won't be forever, and they're supposed to be feeling like this. You're not doing anything wrong. If your old spiritual practice or your old things that used to fulfill you don't, if you're not feeling motivated, if you're feeling just completely broken, or if you're thriving, no matter what your experience is, we're all dealing with this in a different way. But also, or I shouldn't say but, and we have a lot more change ahead of us and a lot more to come. So stay grounded in yourself and allow yourself to be flexible and adjust in ways that you need in order to feel loved and supported and taken care of. Your focus is self-love. And self-love is not selfish, because it allows us to be able to serve in a greater way because we feel taken care of, our needs are met, so we can show up for others in big ways. But we are also being asked to look at the things that we need to do to support ourselves, because our nervous systems are just completely shot right now because of the amount of stress that has been put on us, because of the amount of change and trauma that we have experienced just in a very short time. And there is more to come. And that's not to instill fear. That's just simply the way it is. And I'm not sure exactly what is to come, but you will be okay. I will be okay. We will all be okay. And as long as we use our outrage and we transform it into action, we can really influence positive change. So let's take this time and learn from all of our past mistakes that we've made in our lives and also in our history as humans on this planet. And let's decide to make different decisions. And let's decide that we choose a more loving nation or a more loving world going forward. And that we're all going to do our part to create that loving world, because it is possible. And it starts with you. I am sending you so much love. If you need help through any of this, I am here to support you. I help people through transformation and change all the time. And I've gone through a lot of stuff personally, which allows me to help serve you in a greater way. So head on over to my website, katiehunt.ca, to take a look at the offerings that I have there, or you can email me at info@katiehunt.ca to get started on your sessions. I'm sending you love, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.